Finally, let's talk about using interviews to get your students speaking and asking questions and getting to know each other. If I can take some of these fun games and these artistic expressions and then get students to start asking each other questions back and forth, then not only will they be able to have fun and feel safe with one another, but they'll also leave this class today knowing something about each other as well. So that they can say, hey, not only do I know my classmate's name, but I know how many people are in their family. I know that we like the same kind of food and that we hate the same kind of creepy animal, which is most definitely spiders, but that's a different point. There's a little quote at the start of this book that we give all of our teachers, and it's a quote by C.S. Lewis. It says, "Friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, 'What? You too? I thought I was the only one.'" Give your students a chance during the first day of class to start developing those friendships with you and with each other. To discover something new about their teacher and their classmates so that they can say, "What? You too? Now I know I'm not the only one because you're more like me than I realized." Now there are a lot of different ways to get your students to interview each other, but here are just a few to get you started. Now, one of my favorite ways to do interviews on the first day of class is to do something that we call Find Someone Who. It's a very simple little piece of paper. It's like a scavenger hunt that we give them, but instead of finding things, they're basically finding people. They're finding their classmates, and they have to basically go and find someone who drives a red car or likes the color blue or owns a dog.
One of my favorite icebreaker activities is Find Someone Who. The students can get to know one another better this way, and the teacher also. You can mingle around with your students and learn more about them. I also use this activity not only for an icebreaker. I have used it mid-quarter as a way to practice different verb tenses for my students to use that sentence structure.
For another activity, we call this one Portrait Intros. Basically what we do is we create an art gallery around the room by just hanging up different sets of pieces of paper. Here I've used some colorful paper just to make it fun, but you can also just hang up plain old white paper, whatever you have. Basically we hang these up and we do them in pairs around the room, and then we get to have the students get into pairs as well. And we give each of those pairs a marker, and they go to this spot in the room. They interview each other by asking each other questions, and they also draw each other's pictures, or they draw each other's families, or it depends on what kind of questions you want to ask them. We call this Portrait Intros. All it takes is some pieces of paper, some markers, some tape or something to hang it all up, and you can make a whole art gallery and get to see everybody's pictures. And you can even hang it up in a corner of your classroom later on so everybody can see each other. It's really fun. This is called Portrait Introductions or Portrait Intros.
One of my favourite icebreakers for intermediate levels is Introduce Your Partner. I start by pairing the students together. I give them some questions that they ask each other. After I've given them time to ask the questions, I ask them to stand back to back with their partner, and then as the teacher I ask a few questions, such as, what colour eyes does your partner have? What type of jewellery were they wearing? Did they have any sleeves? And a variety of other questions. It's a good way to just get people to relax and have a bit of a laugh. After I've done that, I then ask them to introduce their partner to the group.
My favorite icebreaker activity is interviews. It's the one where students ask each other who, what, when, where, and why questions and then present to the rest of the class. This was great when I was teaching refugees in Greece because it gave a bunch of students who come from a lot of different cultures chances to get to know each other and find common ground. It also gave me a chance as a teacher while they were presenting to get to know each student.
Why all this about icebreakers? Well, I think of icebreakers in our ESL classrooms as a way to push away the things that bar us from building relationships, from being comfortable with each other, from having fun. And so when we do icebreaker activities in our classroom, it means that we are making a way for people to have fun in the classroom, to be at ease with each other, to be able to build relationships better from the very first start of the class. And so when you're looking at your icebreakers that you do in your class, think of creative ways that you can build rapport with your students and have them learn about each other and have them be able to have fun in your classroom.